I think I'm dating the man that got me pregnant on a one-night stand. Throw away because I have family members on my personal. I'm a single mother to a beautiful little girl from a one-night stand about 4.5 years. Just finished college and had just moved and wasn't looking for anything serious. It also happened was also just before I left on my 2 month long post-college vacation. I have been dating this man for 4 months. He's met my daughter once. They get along extremely well. But I don't let them overlap too much. I don't want to expose her to passing in flings. And though he has mentioned wanting to continue this, we aren't quite serious yet. Prior to last week he's been coming back to my place because I had a bad experience going back to another man's place a year ago. So I went back to his place for the first time. It's the same fucking building as that man. I didn't really recognize it until we pulled into the parking garage. And went up the elevator, but I know it is. But I recognized the hallways instantly. It also had a very recognizable condo smell? I don't know why I remember that. But I feel like they use the clean solutions that spas use. It smells like eucalyptus and apartment musk. The condo itself is similar, but it's been 4 years and I honestly don't remember anything but his room, and that he had a red couch and the layout, which I'm assuming is similar for most of the condos. He doesn't have the couch, but the layout's the same, and I'm pretty sure it has the same view from its main window. Before people come at me for not hunting him down, etc. When we slept together I had just moved to the city after my master's. I never would have found his condo myself, my eye bust back. Also we had obviously been drinking. It's been a week, but I genuinely thinking it's him now because, though they were busy, we met both times at 2 very similar events. 4 years ago the man had shoulder-length wavy dark hair and a thick beard when we slept together. He does have a similar skin tone, kind Mediterranean. The man I am dating has short cropped dark hair, light stubble and glasses. He is also a Italian background. They have the same name. It's a very basic American name, so I never connected it together. Also, to make it worse, I likely look very different too. I used to be very thin, and suffered from an eating disorder, that my pregnancy really helped me to overcome. I've gained 30 pounds, that I really needed. I also had short hair that I straightened, and I'm half black and admittedly look very different now with my longer curly hair. I've been dwelling on this for the entire week. I don't know what I'm asking. But I don't know if I also need legal advice? Or if I should cut contact, because even if he isn't him, I don't think I'll be able to get over this weird feeling that his is. Is there a way to bring this up? Should I message him and let him have the option to ghost me? I'm scared he'll think I'm crazy if I bring this up? Or that I planned it or something weird like that. How do I approach this? Or should it not be approached at all? It's so fucking mental, I don't know what to do. Sorry if absolutely none of this makes any sense. Also, to be clear, I am stable time-wise and money-wise. I do not need this man in my life. My daughter has 2 amazing father figures in her uncles who visit every other day and absolutely love their roles in her life and would probably steal her if that could. Edit. It's him. He had the red couch, I remembered. So if anyone has any suggestions about how to tell a man this, that would be great. Thanks. Edit 2. I sent him this post. I didn't know how else to do it. He saw it half an hour ago. And has yet to respond. So I'm going to bed. Thumbs up. Maybe ask if he's ever had a red couch. I read your edits and I think sending him this post was likely a mistake. This is the kind of conversation you have in person. This is life-altering, Jarenf, and scary. I know what's done is done, but in the future, conversations like this need to be done very carefully and face-to-face. Wait a minute. You don't remember what he looked like, other than Mediterranean blah blah blah? Does he remember you? You have to clear this up. The only thing crazier than just exploring it is leaving it unanswered. You messaged and asked about the couch? Did he ask why you asked? Basically, the only way your story will be believable to him is if you tell him now. If you wait, it will seem like you re-met him as a trap. Text something back like, "Oh my god. I think we slept together before, about 5 years ago." Then describe yourself then. Carry the convo on and then let him know that you got pregnant from that encounter. You'll understand if he ghosts and doesn't want to date anymore. Just tell the truth. I don't believe this is real, but if it is, just get a fucking paternity test obviously and then put it behind you if it isn't. If it is real, then the universe is cool. But yeah, IDK. Exciting. I'm here for the updates. Getting my 25 female family to stop calling my unborn son a reincarnation? My brother died back in November. My husband and I had been trying for a baby. A few days after we tried, my brother died. Obviously didn't know I was pregnant yet. We find out told our family, it was all very sweet. Recently we found out the gender, baby boy. Well, for someone did the math from the due date, figuring out that our boy was conceived around the time my brother died. My family has taken that and ran with it, calling him baby, brother's name. Wanting us to give my son the same name my brother had. We've told them many times that we are going to name him something completely different. They are unrelenting. I don't want to go and see with them or threaten it to get them to stop, since they are all doing it in really sweet ways. Like my mom talking about how she picked that name. My sil telling me their sweet nicknames for each other. But it really is getting on my nerves since my son isn't my brother. Any advice? TL. Dr. My son was conceived around the time my brother died. Family is taking it as my brother being reincarnated into my son. I am so sorry for your loss. But this is really messed up of them. You need to have a serious talk with them about how they are not coping with their grief and instead planning for your son to be a replacement for your brother, which he isn't, and that treating him that way will mess him up. You also need to make it very clear that any attempt on their part to turn your child into a replacement for your brother will result in them having limited or no contact with you and your baby. If the baby was a girl, they would not be doing this. It's pretty warped that they are willing to do this to your son. I feel for them in their grief, but totally understand you're not wanting this to happen. Since I'm assuming they are ignoring your requests that they just stop, perhaps you could phrase it that they would be putting undue pressure on a baby to live up their expectations. My sympathy for your loss. I'm so sorry for your loss. Your parents are trying to bury their grief by making your son a replacement. What a difficult situation all around. I believe you need to have a frank discussion with your parents. I hope they can understand that they need to stop this. Family, we are all still mourning the loss of brother. I miss him every day. I have a favor to ask if you all. Please let my son grow up to be his own person. Don't weigh him down trying to be an uncle he never met. In time we can talk about brother and celebrate his life with my son. Putting a weight like this on him is not something we should do. Let my son be his own person. Let us all together celebrate brother at holidays. We can share photos, play his fav songs, tell funny stories and make his favorite meal. Let Don have his life be his and let him have his own likes and dislikes. This is some weird shit, that's for sure. This same exact post here 3-4 months ago. What happened after all the last advice that was given? My 21F boyfriend, 22M, texted his best friend something that broke me. I have been with my boyfriend for 1.5 years. He is my first love and everything I thought I could ever dream of. He loves me and treats me wonderfully. His best friend though is a serial cheater. A couple days ago I asked him if he had a past with his best friend's ex-GFS cousin because I saw a tweet about her from him. He said no and I moved on. I was just curious. Tonight I was on his laptop because he asked me to help with his homework and I opened up his messages and saw a screenshot of me asking about said female to his best friend. His best friend then asked, "Did you ever get with her?" And my boyfriend replied, "No, I wish." This statement may seem small but I am considering leaving him. No man should be talking about who he wishes he got with while in a relationship. Am I taking this too far? Or is this a clear sign of disloyalty? I love this man and we both plan to get married and engaged soon. It stings even more because I've expressed numerous times that our sex life needs improvement and here he is saying he wish he slept with another woman. I just need sound advice. Is it time for me to move on? Edit. Many of you are enraged by the fact that I looked at his messages. He knows I did and he hasn't brought that up because it's not an issue with us. He can go on my phone whenever he'd like if he feels the need to and I could care less. I am not secretive nor do I have anything to hide. We are open when it comes to our phones. We share literally almost everything else in our life, so for us that is not a big deal. The issue was the message that was sent in the present moment that crossed a boundary of respect towards me, his partner. You're suffering from a serious case of being 21. Honestly, this is such unnecessary drama. But yeah, break up with him if you want. Then get back together, have a big argument in the diner parking lot. Do all the stuff one does at 21 and look back at these days and laugh when you're 30. To be honest, none of us can really tell you an exact answer other than your boyfriend. Have an honest conversation with him and tell him how you feel. 25 Yo women here. I understand how seeing his comment could make you feel uncomfortable. I would be too. But honestly, girls and guys both talk like that to friends sometimes. He probably said it without much thought. It was a quick comment, not a long drawn-out response. Thinking back to the past is not a reflection of you. He's with you now because he wants to be with you. He likely would not have said that if he knew you would be looking through his messages. To handle this, I would probably bring it up to him and maybe ask for some reassurance. This is okay to ask for. But be prepared, he may be upset you breached his privacy and looked at his messages between his friends. Do whatever you want, but most of the comments here are stupid. He said to his friend in a private conversation that he wishes he hooked up with a girl years ago? He didn't do anything wrong, unless you told him to never talk about other women to his friends and he agreed. If you want to date someone who never speaks to their friends about other women, you should communicate that up front, because that's not really a common boundary. Also, you shouldn't have snooped in the first place because you can't unsee things. I don't blame you for being upset that you saw it, but that's what happens when you snoop. Sometimes you see things that aren't necessarily wrong but that you wish you hadn't seen. This is a non-issue. Acknowledging to a friend you think someone is hot in private communications isn't grounds for any concern. Now, if he is sitting there doing that in front of you where you can hear it, I would consider it disrespectful and worth some thought. You know, that's so funny, I was just in this exact situation yesterday. He said he would get with my best friend like it was a no-brainer if he had the chance. He's currently blocked. Woman shrugging, light skin tone. Millionaire obsessed partner. My partner is obsessed with becoming a millionaire. He has sacrificed being a father present with his daughter to chase this dream. She is in his home country, and does not like that my main goal in life is to not make this kind of money. I support his dreams and goals, but at the same time believe that you don't have to hurt those you love, especially your child, to pursue the things you want. Have tried to tell him what is most important in life and he flat out told me that if I was Elon Musk, he would take my advice and that he needs a woman that also wants to make money. I am thinking of leaving him because of the guilt I feel for what he is doing to his child and that he flat out insults my thoughts on his behavior. Your thoughts? He sounds like a complete jackass. I would leave him just because of his attitude and how he talks down to you. I wonder if he realizes that most millionaires still appear normal and just live comfortable upper-middle-class lives. The people it seems that he's envisioning are like at least 10+ millionaires. You told us he values one thing: money. Why stay with someone who has told you that basically you aren't important, money is? I'd leave him. It sounds like your values don't match up. Money is numbers, and numbers never end. If it takes money to be happy, your search for happiness will never end. Bob Marley.